The Toronto Blue Jays are sitting in this weird limbo right now, and nobody's really talking about the most obvious move they could make. Look, I get it. They went out and grabbed Dylan Cease. That's a statement signing. They brought over Kazuma Okamoto from Japan, which has everyone excited about what he might bring to the lineup. On paper, this looks like a team that's trying to make noise. But here's the thing that keeps me up at night. They lost Bichette to the Mets. They swung hard at Kyle Tucker, threw everything they had at him, and he still chose the Dodgers. So where does that leave Toronto right now? They're close. They took the Dodgers to 7 games in the World Series last year. 7 games. They were right there, on the edge of winning it all, and they came up just short. That's the kind of loss that either breaks you or makes you hungrier. For Toronto, it should make them absolutely ravenous. But instead of going all in on another splashy signing, maybe they need to think smaller. Maybe they need to think smarter. And that's where Andrew McCutchen comes into this conversation. Now, before you click away thinking I've lost my mind, hear me out. I know what you're thinking. McCutchen's 39 years old. He's not the MVP caliber player who terrorized pitchers back in his Pittsburgh prime. He's not Kyle Tucker. He's not replacing Bichette's production. But that's not what this is about. The Pirates were supposed to bring him back. Everyone expected it. McCutchen's a franchise icon. He's still contributing, and it made perfect sense. Except Pittsburgh hasn't done it. And McCutchen? He's not happy about it. He went on social media and basically called out the entire organization for dragging their feet. That's not something veterans do unless they're genuinely frustrated and ready to move on. Last season, McCutchen played 135 games. He hit 13 home runs, drove in 57 runs, and posted a .239 batting average with a .333 on-base percentage. Those aren't numbers that win MVP awards, but they're solid. They're productive. For a team that needs depth, for a team that could face injuries or cold streaks at any moment, those are exactly the kind of numbers you want coming off your bench or sliding into your lineup when someone goes down. The Blue Jays don't need McCutchen to be their everyday center fielder. They don't need him to carry the offense. What they need is insurance. They need someone who's been there before, who knows what it takes to win, who can mentor younger players while still producing when his number gets called. McCutchen brings all of that. He brings a championship mindset, even though he hasn't won one yet. He brings leadership. He brings stability. Think about it from a practical standpoint. Toronto just went through an off-season where they struck out on their top targets. They're sitting there looking at a roster that's good, but not quite complete. The margin between winning the World Series and going home empty-handed is razor thin. One injury to a key player, one prolonged slump, one gap in the lineup that nobody can fill. That's all it takes to derail an entire season. McCutchen on a 1-year deal. That's not breaking the bank. That's not mortgaging the future. That's smart baseball. That's the kind of move that flies under the radar until September, when everyone realizes how crucial it was. When you need someone to pinch hit in a crucial moment. When you need a steady presence in the outfield because your starter tweaked something. When you need a voice in the clubhouse telling everyone to stay focused. That's when McCutchen's value becomes obvious. Pittsburgh's hesitation is Toronto's opportunity. McCutchen wants to play. He wants to feel valued. He wants to compete for something meaningful. The Blue Jays can offer him all of that. They can give him a chance to finally get that World Series ring that's eluded him throughout his career. And in return, they get a proven veteran who still has something left in the tank. Will the Blue Jays actually pursue this? I honestly don't know. But they should. Sometimes the best moves aren't the flashiest ones. Sometimes building a championship team isn't about landing the biggest name available. Sometimes it's about finding the right pieces that fit exactly what you need. For Toronto right now, Andrew McCutchen might just be that piece.